Well, I'm back, y'all. Abdull, and I would just like to share my side of the story of what it was like growing up with Dr. Sebi. I remember when he was about to take off to become Dr. Sebi. I was 16, and I'll never forget that day. He picked me up in his van. He had this 1974 Ram van with the moon on the side of it. He was real cool. He was always listening to jazz everything. The reason why I believe he listened to jazz because he couldn't really dance, because we saw him in action trying to dance. I was around 7 years old, and my mom, she was out there, not out there, but my mom, she was somewhat of a socialite. You know, she had a lot of friends because of her personality, real cool. So she gave a party one night, and me, my brother, Alfredo Jr. and my sister Jamala was peeking out from the room, and we was watching them, you know, dance and stuff. So my mom, she used to love to dance to Motown, and she put on this Motown track. I remember it was Dancing in the Streets. I believe Martha Reeves in the van, but I don't want to say anyone because I knew it was, you know, it was Dancing in the Streets. But anyway, and my mom, she started doing like this little cha-cha dance on my dad, right? My dad, he was standing there looking at her. Then all of a sudden, my dad, he went into the stands and was like, oh, he about to get down. He bent over just like this, and then he just went at it. I mean, we had Motown playing, and this was his rhythm. He was moving, he just said, and he was into it. And my mama, she was in there. And my mama, she was from New Orleans, so she knew how to get down. You know, she used to step. So she was all over Sebi. And Sebi, he got frustrated with it. And he was just, and me and my brother and my sister fell out laughing. We could not stop. And from that day on, he listened to nothing but jazz. I said, maybe that was the reason. He couldn't get that rhythm. I remember right before he left, I was 16, and he called me. He said, Abdull, meet me over at Audubon Junior High School. I have something to tell you. And so walked over there, a couple of my friends, Derek and Lavelle. And so when we got there, he put up in the van, and he looked over at him. He said, not this time, fellas. I need to talk to Abdull. So I knew it was something serious because I got in the car and into the van and we drove off. I knew it was something serious because he didn't allow my friends to go. And he loved Derek and Lavelle, you know what I mean? But anyway, I was sitting there, right? And I guess he was testing my knowledge on what I knew from the time he's been around from, you know, I was 16 years old. And so he's playing some jazz, Weather Report. I remember the song, Nubian Sundance. So he's driving. So he kept looking at me. So I'm looking at him at the corner of my eye, just cutting at me. I said, all right, he's about to say something. He wants to talk about something. And so he said, yeah, Abdull, yeah. You want to get high? I got some dust. And I looked over at him. I said, he's bending over, asking me, do I want some dust? So I looked back over at him. I said, dust? I don't smoke dust. You smoke dust and you supposed to be? He said, oh, no. I was just checking to see what you smoking that stuff. Because it's that. I said, I already know that it's dangerous. I know. I said, I listened to Gil Scott-Heron, Angel Dust, me and my friends. And we had way more sense to know it was just embalming fluid, blah, 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 blah. So he got real chill with me. Then that's when he got into it. He said, well, son, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave L.A. So I was like, okay, you're going to leave L.A., where you going? He said, yeah, I have to, I'm on a mission. I have to go take care of some things in New York. He told me he was going to New York, but he ended up in St. Croix. So he was like, I'm going to New York. I said, okay. So pulled over, you know, took me back to the house, and he pulled out this big old wad of money. He said, it's not going to last you a long time. He said, but you're going to hear from me. I said, okay. And from that point on, you know, I was in the city. You know, I was in LA from 16 all the way up until I saw Sebi again when I was 21. That's when he sent for me. He had won his court case back in 1988. And, but in between that time, I noticed he was absolutely right about acidic, because there's a lot of acidic people. You know what I mean? I lived a life where I saw nothing but acidized people. Yeah, I'm making up that word. acidized. That means filled with acid. And it came to me, I said, Sebi was right. It's because of the acid. It has to be the acid that's causing us to go nuts like that. Because us as African-American people, we are thinkers, we're healers, we are doctors, we're everything that's under the sun that's extraordinary. So I said, yeah, Sebi was right about acidic. Because that acid, it changed your whole DNA of your attitude, everything. And you have encountered some acidic people. I remember once I was a young man. I used to live on the street right off of Crenshaw. And I dealt with this sister who was very acidic. And I didn't know she was acidic at the time until she called me, Abdull. I was like, okay, how you doing? What's going on? I'm laying here chilling. You chilling? I said, yeah, I'm laying here by myself just chilling. Nah, I don't believe that you chilling by yourself because the way you said that. I said, no. I said, you know what? Let me get off the phone with you because I ain't going through this. And she said, you better not hang, you better not click. And I just dropped the phone. Next thing you know, 20 minutes later, I hear, I said, what do you want? Open up the door. I know you got some women in there. See, that's being very acidic because she's not thinking. If she would have just listened to me the first time and found out there wasn't nobody in there, it would have been all done. But no, here we go. So I said, nah, I'm good. I want to rest. I don't feel like having no company today. So she's like, open up the door. I was like, I ain't opening up nothing. So she said, okay. So I started reaching down in her purse. And so when I looked to the people and started reaching in her purse, I got to the floor. I was laying down on the floor like, oh, she got a gun. She about to start busting caps. But anyway, all I heard was pow, pow. At the door, I said, that don't sound like no kind of gun, not even a toy 22. So I looked out the window, my peephole. She's standing there. Now, you can't get more acidic than this. She was lighting firecrackers, throwing them at my door. Open up the door. Pow. Open up the door. Pow. I was like, oh no. I said, oh no. I said, okay. I said, get away from the door. I said, I don't want to say call the police because I know what they, with the police. That's going to a whole nother level. So I was like, okay, if you don't open up the door, I'm gonna let Bruno out. At the time, I had a little pit bull. Big muscles, big neck, head, I had the stud chain around it with the spikes to try to pet him. He just, the spikes to just tear your hand up before his bite will. You know what I mean? Just a ferocious pit bull. I said, if you don't open up, if you don't stop throwing those firecrackers at my door, I'm gonna let out Bruno. She's just standing there. Pow, pow. I said, all right, now I'm about to be acidic. I slung the door open. Go get her, Bruno. Bruno charged at her. Bow! Hit Bruno right in the eye. Bruno turned around. Bruno, I swear, Bruno did just like this. My rear. He turned around. His ran right past me. And mind you, I was on the second floor. I said, Bruno! I was like, where you going? She's right there. Go get her. Attack. Bruno ran right by me and jumped right out my second floor. All I heard when Bruno jumped, I said, we on the second, before I could even say second floor, all I heard was, my legs. I said, you see, you shouldn't have jumped. That scared her off when she heard Bruno scream like that because she know how people are about their pets, especially dogs. So she ran down the steps. I went over to the window and looked out. Bruno laying there with his leg, you know what I mean? Abdull. I said, she jumped out the window. It was a firecracker, it wasn't a gun, you know what I mean? I was the first person to ever invent a wheelchair for a dog. I had to wheelchair him around for at least 3 months until his legs healed up. Yeah, from that acidic chick. Even pets could be acidic. I remember I tried to get something different from just a regular dog. 'Cause I was like, if I'm gonna have a dog, I'm gonna have the best kind of dog, whatever it is. So I got a hybrid. A hybrid is a wolf mixed with a Malamute. A Malamute is like a husky. But anyway, beautiful dog, but didn't have no sense. You know what I mean? I thought wolves were smart. This dog had no sense. But one day, me and Isaiah, my son, sitting down watching the football game. So we hear like this tapping on the window. And so I say, tapping on the window. I said, who's tapping? So I look in the backyard, moves the curtain back, and his name was Tanakh. this hybrid wolf had a rabbit in his mouth. I said, oh my God, this dog have a rabbit in his mouth. Where'd he get this rabbit from? Me and Isaiah rushed out there, and Isaiah said, that was Mr. Roberts' rabbit. You know, I think he bought that for his little son, Jason. I said, oh my God, this stupid dog done jumped over here and done killed the man's rabbit. So I said, Isaiah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wash the rabbit up. We're gonna put him back in the cage like he died of a heart attack or something. We are not gonna let him know that that our dog got this rabbit. So we cleaned the rabbit up and stuff. Got the rabbit all clean and stuck the rabbit right back in the cage. And we went back out through the yard and sat down and finished watching the game. About an hour later, all I hear is at my door. I said, who is it? He said, Mr. Roberts, Abdull, can you come to the door for a minute, please? So I said, I'm watching the game. Well, this is kind of important, Abdull. Please just pause it and just come over and just let me have a talk. So I went over to the door, and he's standing there with this very peculiar look in his eyes. So I said, what's going on? What's going on, Jim? Abdull, did you happen to see anybody just going to my yard, while you was watching the game? I was like, no, I didn't see nobody going to your yard. Why? What's going on? Well, my son, we had a rabbit, and the rabbit, he was trying to feed the rabbit gummy bears or something. The gummy bears got stuck in the rabbit's throat, and the rabbit died. So we went and buried the rabbit out and gave him a little funeral in the yard. Then we get home today, and the rabbit is back in the cage, and we just want to know what happened. We buried the rabbit, and the rabbit was gone, so now he's cleaned up and back in the cage. I was like, I didn't see nobody. We don't know what happened or how that rabbit got back in that cage like that. And tell little Timmy that we're very sorry. We'll buy him another rabbit. He said, nah, Timmy's fine, but, we think he's going to have to get some type of treatment after this because, when he saw that, he just freaked out. You know what I mean? We didn't. I said, well, I didn't see anybody, so, you know what I mean? So, sorry about that, and I just closed my door and went back and started watching the game again. But that dog was very acidic, and I didn't know that the rabbit was already dead. He dug it up and brought the rabbit back over to the house. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. But anyway, let me tell you about when I traveled with my pops, Dr. Sebi. We drove from New York to Honduras, and that was an adventure. From New York to Honduras. And when he called me, he was like, Abdull, what are you doing? I said, nothing right now, just here at the house chilling, watching the game. I want you to drive to Honduras. I said, I don't even know how to get to Honduras, so I don't know how you expect me to drive. No, I'm gonna drive. I said, okay, so where are you now? I'm in New York. I'm gonna have a plane ticket for you at Delta Airline. Go to the airport tonight. Bye. He just hung the phone up. Next thing you know, I'm at Delta Airline, flying to New York, and meet with my pops that I haven't remember since I was 16. And so when I get there, we talked, and it was a real cool experience. I was like, wow. He said, I told you I was gonna come back for you. I said, yeah, and you did. I said, look at you, a Dr. Sebi. I was like, but I'm not surprised, because I remember when you used to make them concoctions for me and my friends, and we were the experimental mice, okay? Me and my friends, my pops, we was like his I won't say guinea pigs, but we was his gauge on how these herbs are gonna affect the body. Because he was always testing, was always my same two partners, Lavelle and Derek. And we'll go over to my pops, and he would have these, but first, I used to always have to trick them into coming with me because they just didn't want to go. Nah, because they done went over there too many times where he'd come with these little wooden cups, and it'd be steaming hot, and I'm talking about summertime, and he'd put them on the table, a cup for you, just wait, Abdull, I'm getting you a cup right now. Then he'd go into the kitchen and come back, he brings the cup, and we all looking like, it's like 80 degrees outside, and it's like 90 degrees in here from him, boiling all this stuff, and he didn't raise the degrees in his house like 20, it felt like a sauna up in there. Then he come with these little cups with steam coming from them. So it wasn't that we didn't want to drink it, but we just wanted a cold Coca-Cola at the time, you know what I mean? Because we was acidic, because I was 16, I didn't know about the alkaline side, I was still learning. So I was acidic because I was eating the burgers and all the rest of the stuff. But anyway, a cold 7-Up would have did me good at that time. But anyway, we slowly just sipped that cup, just slowly. My partner's looking at me, and as they sipping, they look at me, Lavelle and Gaines, they looking at me and saying, we're not coming back over here with you ever again, right? And they sipping, they looking at me, we ain't gonna ever come back. You done got us like this, okay, you said that's the second. This is like the 5th time you done got us with this, and they looking at me, and they sipping the cup, and they putting it down, and Sebi, he's standing there just like this. Hurry up. Come on, fellas, drink it. If it was a Coca-Cola 7-Up, it'll be done by now. Drink it up. Then he'll walk out, came back with this basketball. Y'all go outside and play. I said, it's 90 degrees outside. So he wants us to go outside and play after he done gave us this hot tonic. But anyway, after we drunk it, he watched it for like maybe 10 minutes. Then all of a sudden, my legs, I was like, hey, maybe I do feel like playing basketball, because the electricity started just flowing, you know what I mean? Because everything that we make is electrical, not acidic. It's highly electrical. So I was feeling it back then. At 16, I had energy on top of that energy. So he gave us this basketball, and we went outside for at least 2 hours and played, sweating everything, didn't even care. Felt that good. But anyway, on our trip to Honduras, me and Sebi driving. We was going to Guatemala. We had just went through Mexico and went into Guatemala. And so we was going through around the volcano area, and it's like 12,000 feet up, and it was storming. And when I said raining, we were so high up, so the elevation was so high where we were. I was literally driving through clouds, okay? We was driving through the clouds, and I was doing about maybe 5 miles an hour, just creeping uphill. And all I heard was, you're driving too fast. I was like, I'm driving too fast. I'm looking 5 miles an hour. And the whole time, I'm reaching over, I said, why he got his hand on the door like that? He had his hand on the door like this looking at me. I said, what you gonna do, jump? It's a cliff on the other side, so where you gonna go? But down, you know what I mean? You're driving too fast. It's not that little Z that you have in LA. And so I'm driving. I said, okay, Seb, I'm going to be honest with you. If I go any slower, we're going to start going backwards, okay? I can't go no slower than what I'm doing right now. And I cannot cruise going uphill. I got to use a little gas. But it's thundering. I mean, I looked to the right of me, and me and Sebi both saw it. All we saw would just look like a lightning strike. You know what I mean? We saw this lightning strike, and that cheered him out. Sebi said, I wish I had a joint. He just laid back. So yeah, me too at this time, you know what I mean, driving through that. But we made it through. Guatemala was a beautiful place. And then we entered into Honduras, I swear. Coming out of LA, from LA to New York, and seeing how beautiful it was with the water and how blue the skies was out there in Honduras, my eyes, it took me at least 20 minutes for my eyes to adjust, because I'm telling you, it looked like I was in some type of, it looked like I was actually looking in 3D. It was so clear. I couldn't believe it. I was picking up the dirt saying, wow, look at this dirt. This is not like the dirt. And even the water out there was pristine. Oh, it was just a beautiful place. Oh, I love Honduras. Beautiful, beautiful place. But anyway, meeting Sebi's friends was something, because he had a group of friends. But he had this one named 1,000 Buttons. And so when he said, yeah, you got to be my friend. I think his name was Meba Thomas. And he said it meant 1,000 buttons or something like that. But anyway, he said, you got to be Meba Thomas. And so I said, okay. So we were sitting under this little thing called the Champita. And while we sitting there, I see this little cat walking up, walking toward us. And then Sebi stood up, Meba Thomas. And they spoke some Spanish. And but while we were walking, how he was trying to communicate with Sebi, and that, I mean, it was deep. But anyway, I said, walking next to him, so I said, how are you, I'm Abdull? He said, bam! I said, all right, you know what I mean? Yeah, you too. And so anyway, we're walking, and so he's talking to Sebi, and all I hear was, Sebi, you gonna drive me and come do something me that? No. You gonna drive them, you in there, no me that? No me. Wherever you getting your food job, CMOS? CMOS, yes. I said, now, okay, they got to be playing a trick on me. Sebi cannot understand what this man is saying. That's not even Spanish, okay, what he's saying to Sebi. We walking the whole time, and that's all I heard, backwards and forwards. And so I got real close into him. You know, he's real short, so I'm like walking around. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I know it's not Spanish and not English. It's not Garifuna. I don't know what he's saying. And all I heard was, he looked over at me. Sebi, you told him to try to spank Abdull, Sebi? Yeah, Abdull's a grown man. I can't spank him. And so I looked at him like, but anyway, you know, he had some funny friends, but that was one in particular. I said, wow. And so when men said we got by ourselves, I said, Sebi, come on, I'll be honest. Did you understand everything what he said? Because that wasn't even Spanish. He said, yeah, I've been knowing ever since I was a little boy. I said, okay. Yeah, I guess you can learn a certain dialect, you know, like that, or you've been around it for that long. But anyway, it was a beautiful experience. And he taught me a lot about healing. And what I love about healing is that when people come to me, and I get all type of people that come to me, and most of them are acidic, but that's why they come to me, because they want the acid out, okay? You can be acidic, but as long as you want the acid out, we're good. But anyway, I remember when Sebi was healing. And it takes me back, because everybody went to Sebi, and I'm almost experiencing the same type of structure of the way my life is going as he did, what he explained to me and what I've seen him go through. And we just get you just get all different cultures, all national. Everybody wants to come. I mean, if you're healing, you're healing. They don't care who, you know, some people's like, I don't care, you know, what it is. I just want to be healed. But I remember this Chinese man came. He came over to our place in Leimert Park. And I answered the door. I saw him at the door. I said, well, maybe he's thinking that we ordered Chinese food or something and trying to deliver. So I walk over to the door. I said, may I help you? I want to say that a guy named Dr. Sebi. I said, Dr. Sebi is in a consultation right now. You're going to have to probably come in and, okay, I come in for Sebi. Now, who yo? I said, I'm his son, Abdull. You have the thing for the, the kapow. I said, the kapow. I said, something going on with your prostate? Yeah, I think the blood do not flow like that, and so no kapow. I said, okay, I got you. And so when Sebi came out from his consultation, he looked down, and this guy looked up at him. It's them, that's the one, Dr. Sebi. But Sebi, like he is, my man came walking down the stairs. I was like, what, Sebi, know this dude? You know what I mean? They've been eating Chinese food together, what? But anyway, Sebi went down there, gave him a little hug and talked to him. He said, I love you, Dr. Sebi. You gonna make kapow? Sebi said, yeah, I'm gonna make kapow. And they just went upstairs and he got his little package and stuff together. And the guy left about maybe 4 days later, came back excited. Yo, Dr. Sebi's son, Abdull. I said, yeah, I'm Abdull, that's me, I'm still the same person. Well, tell your father and thank you too for the kapow. I went home, me and wife, kapow, all night. She loved me now, she make me noodles, she made me rice, shrimp, everything, every night, kapow. I said, okay, well, that's good. And he just walked up, and I'm telling you, this is a true story. I'm not making this, this is actually, I have witnessed this, you know what I mean? He went on, because for me, I have, different cultures come at me too, like my homeboy Saeed, Indian brother. We still all brothers, I like the Indian, community. But anyway, Saeed came over to me, Abdull. I was like, what's going on, Saeed? Oh, I need to speak to you about something that's very personal. I said, okay, what's personal, Saeed? Sometimes I don't, I try to, but no, that doesn't happen. It just don't stop. It don't work. I said, okay, it don't work. So we got him a package together, gave it to him. Sai was cool too. Sai got in his car and, okay, my brother, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you we're gonna meet. I said, okay, cool, just let me know. About a week later, I was at Crenshaw. All I saw Saeed pull up. I said, who is this idiot driving in this car like this? You know what I mean? It was Saeed, pulled up on the side of me. My brother Abdull. I love you, man. My wife love you. I love you. Our next child is going to love you. Everything is working. I love you. Come to any 7-Eleven that you want. My cousins, they will take care of you. I love you, Abdull. And he took off. Yeah. Even the Hispanics, you know what I mean? I had some Hispanics, come to me. What's up, Abdull? My homes. Hey, man, my cousin, we was all kicking it one day, and we sat down, and it was his birthday, and he had this girl, and this idiot that I was his name was Chaco. Chaco gonna give this fool something, and we don't know what happened to him, man. We don't know what happened to him. He's not talking to us right anymore, man. We just want something that's going to help him get back to normal. I said, okay, well, take me over to him so I can see what's going on with him. I go over to him, right? He's sitting down in his chair. And soon as they open up the door, he sees him. He start, and then the guy was like, come on, Holmes, that's not even Spanish. What are you saying, Holmes? Abdull is going to help you. Stop saying those things. It was like, it was like, come on, man. Abdull, get the stuff now, man. He need it, man. He need it. And so I went to the car, got it, and while he was into one of his little spills, I just poured the tonic down and stuff. You know what I mean? And they hit me back about a week later. Hey, man, he's back to normal. He's speaking Spanish again. We drinking Budweiser. I said, but just don't give him that stuff or whatever y'all gave him that. Whatever it was, just don't let me have none of that access to that ever again. And it was cool. Yeah, but it's been a nice little journey. It's been a nice little journey. And I remember when I first got started, what happened was Marvin, old Motown brother, came to me and asked me could I help his friend. So his friend had cancer. So I was like, okay. I called my brother up, P. This is a guy, he needs help, he has cancer. And so Pete started formulating stuff. I took it out to him, he started taking it. And so like 3 days later, Pete, and this is how my brother was. My brother he just gone, you know what I mean? I call him a gypsy. He's a black gypsy because he lives everywhere. We could be standing here talking, and I said, yeah, man, I think I'm gonna go to back to New Orleans and just visit for a minute. Oh, New Orleans, yeah. You know what, I think I'm gonna go move back to New Orleans right now, and he will be gone. He just, from New Orleans, he'll go to Washington, from Washington, go to Arizona, from there to Texas, gypsy. But anyway, he said, yeah, man, I'm about to move. I said, what, you getting your own spot here in LA somewhere? Where you moving to? Now I'm leaving LA. I am going to Washington. Pew. I think Pete told me like that Monday. By Wednesday, he was gone. And so I said, well, Pete, so I called him. I said, man, you just up and left. So what am I supposed to do about the guy with cancer? Well, you know how to heal. You've been around Sebi long enough. You'll heal him. Bang, and hung the phone up. I was like, oh, no, I'm a writer. I don't want to heal nobody. No, nothing. No. And all I could remember is standing next to Sebi, and he just got it. Nah, Abdull, go get that over there. Go get the table. Go get, and just pointing out different things. I'm just grabbing stuff, and he just and formulating these tonics. So I said, okay, here I go. Put the writing aside, start formulating this product. He started taking it. That was 5 years ago. Ken had prostate and colon cancer. And now, going on 6 years later, cancer-free, done. No more acid in the body. He's acid-free. But anyway, I have all type of people come to me. Did I remember this one gentleman, I was just coming out the grocery store, and what happened was I had some product on me. And so I had took one into a gentleman, so I had an extra bag in my hand. I was going back to the car. This little cat stepped in front of me, And he's mad, you know what I mean? He's looking at me. He's all reared up. He's like, breathing out. I hear something about you. I hear something about you. So I'm looking at him like, okay, what did you hear about me? What's going on? You Dr. Sebi's son? I said, yeah, I'm Dr. Sebi's son. Wait, you're not like Sebi, who you healing? Huh? Who you healing? So he looked at the bag in my hand. What's that in your hand? I said, it's my bag of herbs. I just gave some to somebody and I'm taking this back to the car. So he's looking at me, he goes, I'm taking them now. And he grabbed the bag out of my hand. But I didn't do nothing, I just looked at the gentleman and just said, okay, you can have the herbs, go ahead and take them. You ain't Sebi. And just walked off. So I'm telling you, and I don't call it coincidence. I don't say nothing of that stuff. I just, it is what it is. But 2 weeks later, I see the same gentleman coming up to me. So I was like, okay, if he walk up to me now, I'm not trying to hurt my brother. I'm just going to just lay him down for a second so I can just walk on out the store without any trouble. But anyway, he walked up to me. He was like, how you doing, Abdull? I said, how you doing, man? What's going on? Well, I would just like to tell you that I'm no longer angry. I said, okay, I see that. And he ran up at me, ready to fight. Mike Tyson, mini-me. So he said, and thank you. And, oh, by the way, how much of those herbs were? I said, oh, it was like $200 worth of herbs. So he said, okay, let me put it. I said, oh, no, you took the herbs, you jacked me for them. It's all good, you're going to keep the herbs, I don't want no trouble. He said, no, take the money, man, and they helped me, man. You see how I am now? The herbs helped me. Man, I had high blood pressure. I mean, my blood pressure through the roof. He said, I was having these headaches, man. My stomach was messed up. He said, man, I took those herbs, and man, I'm 100% right now. I feel good. So I took the money and said, okay, next time you come up to him, nothing like that, you try to, that's going to be it. He was like, oh, Abdull, I love you, man, and thank you, and give me your number and stuff, and, whenever I need some more herbs, I'm going to hit you. And he was cool after that, you know what I mean? And he's still buying the products from me. But anyway, people come to me all with all type of attitude. But the one thing you have to remember, don't react when you see acid. Everybody has acid. You know what I mean? Everybody. That's why it's not road rage, it's acid rage. You know what I'm saying? You see him driving down the street. Hey, man, you cut me off. Man, that's acid. Pull over, offer him some product. Help him. You know what I mean? Help the man. But anyway, I'm Abdull, and it's a pleasure to be out here in LA, helping people abroad, from New York to Chicago. I love everybody. I love us as African Americans and who we are and how we can identify with us. And we got to have our own thing because like my father used to say, he used to say, look, why we can't help us, everybody else helping their own. The Chinese help their own, the Japanese, Russians, even Western medicine, the Caucasians have that. We don't have nothing. So that's when he started his journey and began to heal. But his journey was way before then. His journey started when he was first born. I know when he was in the woods of Honduras, he was walking through there naked, just picking little fruits and that ain't good. And he grabbed guaco, and then he just keep walking. Sensitiva, and just, you know what I mean? He probably was studying nerves since he was 2 years old. He already knew about everything. You know what I mean? In Honduras, I remember when he told me he took this journey. He said, yeah, Abdull, it was 3 of us. And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but it ended up tragic. You know what I mean? I thought it was gonna, well, we walked from, I think he said he walked from La Ceiba all the way, they went into San Pedro Sula. But we talk when Sebi was 16, it was just nothing but forest through that. You know what I mean? So that had to be an adventure. But he said one night, they was laying down and they said sleep with their elbow up, like this. He said because they had centipedes. And he said one of the guys must have got comfortable and laid down, and one of them things climbed up in there. And he said, you know what I mean? He said, I think little, I Palato, whoever his name was, wasn't right after that. I think it killed him or something happened, because I said, what happened to them? He said, well, it was 3 of us when we left and it was only 2 of us when we came back. I said, well, maybe something happened to, you know what I mean? There was no hospitals around, and Sebi wasn't the top herbalist that he is now, so, you know. But yeah, it was just a beautiful thing just watching him take that journey. And, you know, I have much love and respect for everybody who support, because you are the people, you are the ones, I hate to use the term people. My family are the ones who come to us when you need help, and we glad to assist. We are more than happy to assist you in your healing, removing all the acid from out of you. It's gonna remove acid from everything. And I have to use a disclosure also, because, you know, with those cleansers, sometimes I forget how the cleansers work on people at a certain time, and it all depends on what you're eating. Like this one guy named Big Earl, I remember Big Earl called me. He was like, Abdull, I love you, my bro. He said, but man, you're gonna have to pay for my car, man, because I messed my car up. I said, what you mean, man? I said, man, weren't you rolling around in a Bentley? He said, yeah, man. He said, you told me to take 6 of those cleansers. I said, man, I told you to take 6 of the cleansers, but stay home. You said you wanted to do a power cleanse. He said, man, I'm gonna skip that part, man, because I got into this car wash and I was stuck between 2 cars, and man, it just came flying out. My Bentley was messed up. I said, well, you have to call. He said, man, they don't want to do it. And you know what I mean? I was like, but I'm gonna have to let people know. If you want to do a power cleanse, stay home. Now would be the perfect time when you're under quarantine. You know, stay home, just purge, get all the acid out. You feel better. We're gonna move towards the alkaline side, not the acidic side. Alkaline, no acid. You know what I mean? And acid people, even brothers be acid. Brothers, we mentioned the sister, but y'all full of acid too, you know. And I can always tell when a brother full of acid, because they always had this look. And they always look like they're angry. And then when I look in their hands and see what they have, I know why they're angry. You'll see this brother standing in line just looking like Terry Crews. He'll have a pack of hot dogs in one hand, then the buns on the next. Then he's mad because he couldn't get the can of chili, and he's just standing just. And I had walked up to brothers like, hey man, I'm not telling you how to eat, but if you want to change your total perspective on how you feel and look, I would go put those hot dogs back where you got them from and get some fruit. I said, even if you want to do some fish, that is lesser than the rest of the evils. But those hot dogs, bro, let me tell you, they're going to be hard hitting on you, and you're going to keep that look. And the women, they can sense that stuff. When they know, they can pick up. Women has a sense that's deeper than the man. We can sense certain things like danger. When somebody ready to put a gun out, you know, to turn around and run. But women have a sense about, you know, they catch your whole character, and they could just, they do like a scan, a whole body scan of you from your whole attitude. They just go, oh, no, he's full of acid. I could just, by the way he look, if I even go speak to him, he gonna be like, what? Do I know you? You know what I mean? He says, oh, you know, and sisters stay away. And then the brother's mad because the sisters don't want to talk because they're giving off this bad acidic vibe. So in order to curb the acidic vibe, you have to do the alkaline thing. And then when your attitude, you know, your attitude is cool and you standing there in line and you know, smelling good and stuff, and you standing there and they looking at you, you know they smelling you because they always say, you smell good. And then they know that your attitude, you turn around and say, oh, thank you, and you're looking good. You know, they know that there's no acid going on because both of y'all have the alkaline side and y'all feeling good. And might, you know, hook up and have a baby or something after that. But anyway, you have to watch what you eat. You have to watch what you eat. And with the corona and all this stuff going on, we have to make sure that everything we put in our body is clean. You know, you can't trust nothing now. I mean, you got even the fruits, you know, they have hybrid fruits and genetic this and that and this and that. But anyway, let's just stay on the alkaline side, and, you know, until I see you again, I'll be back. I will be back, all right? So until I come back, you can enjoy this one and watch it over and over and over again. And say, Abdull, yeah, he's alkaline, he cool. All right, y'all. Love ya.